So today we're going to be looking at all of the best icon defenders in FC24. We have got a lot to cover. We're going to just go straight through them. Obviously there's going to be some that are just completely out of the question now. To be honest, most of the bases are going to be under that category anyway. When we look at a lot of these, they are standard and obviously we need it upgraded. Most of them, I think, pretty much all of them have had at least one upgrade by now, I'm pretty sure. Even the Cannavaros and the Desais have finally got their upgrade, and some out of the position as well. We've seen some, like for instance, like a Van Nistelrooy going from a striker to a goalkeeper and eventually getting another striker card back into it. But when we look at most of these, I would say half of these are pretty much in the bin when it comes to their base version at an absolute minimum. Even sometimes their Centurions, just not that impressive anymore. But as we go into the Galazzo, the Ultimate Birthday, there's definitely some really hard hitters in there that are very much worth your time. It was to look at one of them, I think one of the more successful icons that we've seen in the game from his SBC is Mr. Blanc. Now, his 88, even though the SBC was absolutely fantastic at the very, very start of the game, he reminded me very much of when we used to get the Rio in the icon swaps. Everybody wanted him, everybody had him. We then kind of just left him a little bit and he needed an upgrade. It was getting to the point where he was just outdated, and that's the whole point with these icons. It's why they started it with a base mid prime. We then eventually need to go above that, and it's what they did with the campaigns, making the prime moments. Now scrapping all of that, I was going to be very interested to see how they do it, other than releasing a crazy amount of icons, which, to be fair to them, they have at least kept to that word. There is a lot of difference between Dynasties, Thunderstruck, Centurions, Team of the Year, Ultimate Birthday. What else have we got? So if you're looking to improve your team, make sure you're heading over to lootbar.gg. They are the best and most reliable coin service you can find. Also with the best 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using the code JT11, 8% off your first ever transaction and then 5% off every time after that. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Future Stars and then the Galazzo promo and also the Winter Wildcard. So there is a decent set. The only problem we have with a lot of it is there's like 98 to 100 and something icons. Having them upgraded in a timely manner is very difficult. Zambrotta only just getting his first upgrade on the actual score sheet, same as Desai, has been a long wait. Zambrotta, in terms of his base card now, is pretty much in the bin. Like, maybe with an evolution you could upgrade him, but he's most definitely not going in that top tier. I would say, personally, for me, the Blanc is going to go into that S at the absolute minimum. I'm kind of interested to see where I'd go with the S pluses because there's a lot of very top end cards, but I don't want to go and put absolutely everybody in it. Keane is more of a centre mid anyway. I don't know why they put him at left back. Bobby Moore, you can absolutely get in the bin as well. There is no way. That card needed some pace at Winter Wildcard, let alone now. The 99 dribbling's nice, but it most definitely isn't going to help anything. We then go through the rest. Puyol, I'd actually go maybe one up. I think... Oh, no, I'm going to keep Blanc there. I feel like he definitely is in that lower category now. Sol Campbell, I'm going to put next to him. I personally didn't like Coman, but I believe he had quite a bit of a following in his centre-back role. It's just not the card for me personally. Then we're kind of looking at the difference of any kind of lower ones. Cannavaro, probably around now. That card's not really going to get too much love. Ashley Cole, I think as a left back you could possibly keep going with him, but even then, at day one they were still better cards for the price that you can get at that left back role. So then we look at some of the more higher rated ones. These are kind of the ones that we've put into the list. Nesta, in fact, can get in the bin. We have got a better version of him as well. But someone like a Team of the Year Lahm. Very good for Team of the Year. I think they got Team of the Year so right this year in terms of actually upgrading the cards, let alone the Team of the Year icons. The actual Team of the Year was perfect. I think the ratings were absolutely spot on. And I must admit, when it comes to Lahm, I like him as a DM, so the difference in kind of where you'd want to play him, but I do think he's still a very, very good right back that you could use as well. Carfu, easily a top of the top. He is brilliant. He's finally got himself another upgrade on top, which is perfect, and then one more on top of that. But in terms of the base, was still a fantastic right back for a long period of this game. I'd even go as far to say Nesta's up there as well. He may not be everybody's cup of tea to start with. I've just thought Baresi doesn't have an upgrade, I don't believe. That's one that I can think of. But with Nesta, he got the slide tackle, the bruiser, the double play style plus was nice, but he just needed that little bit more of an upgrade now, especially with all of the other players, because this is a list between all the icons, but then you're missing out heroes, you're missing out actual players. There's a lot of players out there. The amount of promo cards that we've got this year is just nuts, and it's going to be the same every year, so maybe a progression basis to make icons that little bit more desirable could be a way forward, but I feel like EA will probably do the same every year. Zanetti's going to go next to him. I think he, again, is a good right back, but I do prefer him in that CDM role. If I was looking at a right back anyway, I'd probably look at a Zambrotta over him, in my opinion. So Zambrotta, for that case, is going to go into that top spot. He's still coming in at a whopping 620, which is very good for the market at the moment. And I do think this first upgrade was absolutely beautiful for him. You can obviously do him as an SBC as well. He's 688,000. So if you are still struggling for that right back, he is available there. Carlos Alberto, I don't think I really need to name him too much. He is brilliant in himself. You've got a 4-5 or a 5-4. Obviously, you go for the 5-star weak foot. He's still 1.3 million coins on it. Pace is unbelievable. You can put him at centre-back, which I personally do like. The only difference is with the centre-back role is he isn't lengthy. So maybe now going into kind of more of that lengthy era, right-back could suit him as well. And I think you'd tie between the two of them depending on what you want as a right-back. Maldini, definitely not the kind of best version we've got of him. We've obviously got quite a few in terms of his 90, his base version, and then also we have got the lovely Future Star, which again is a very good centre-back in himself. I think Maldini speaks for himself. I'm surprised he got so many cards, to be honest. We obviously had the base as an SBC. We then got Dynasties, which did have the junior and the senior version, I suppose, the 90 and the 93. And then finally we did get a Future Star of him for 2.4 million. He is obviously mostly lengthy with the intercept and quick step. I kind of would have preferred Anticipate, but it's Maldini. In terms of stats in game, he's always been phenomenal. That's just an easy one. Rio Ferdinand. Now, my perception of him from the get-go is he was brilliant. He was this new icon. Team of the Year had the first double play style pluses. Anticipate was number 1 on that centre-back list. And then we got slide tackle with him as well. As I had the base Maldini for quite a while, I was already anticipating that it's going to be a very good card because slide tackle had its perks, but Anticipate was the one that everybody wanted. And it's still to this day. If I can get Anticipate, aerial, slide tackle, block, any across them list, I'm very happy in that centre-back. And I do think Rio, for me, is still top of the top. I don't agree with the SBC price because he's currently coming in at 1.9 mil. But the SBC price is nearly 2.8. I don't think that's worth it for what we're actually going to get in the coming couple of weeks. We've got Prem Team of the Season coming literally this Friday. I don't want to spend 3 million coins on a centre-back that is very, very good, but we could get just as good for a lot cheaper with the progression updated. I'll go with his base version into the A+. Carlos Alberto, I still think that base version's an S. Roberto Carlos, I'd probably go a little bit further down now for his A card, but again, like most, he's had a couple of upgrades. We've obviously got the Galazzo and also the Future Star. Now, with the Future Star, we didn't know that was going to be the the SBC version, and then also getting a Galazzo, which was literally 2 promos next, which I think the Ultimate Birthday was 2. It was on the second week he got Future Stars, and then obviously the Galazzo, he was number 1 on that list. I cannot believe that he managed to get it, because let alone that, we've got 690,000 for this Galazzo. I think the Future Star, when he first came out, was like $1.5 million. He dropped right down, and he went down to 600. But the SBC still is coming in at 1.3. Now, in terms of the card, there's nothing wrong with him. Like, he's a very, very good card. Obviously, with the Future Star, we've got the Deadball Relentless. It's not the greatest playstyle plus in the world. We ended up with Relentless and Whipped Pass for the Galazzo, which definitely put him back on the map, in my opinion. And I'd go S plus and S for both of them. The SBC is just a little bit expensive for what we actually get. Cannavaro, I think for me would probably go into the A+, nothing no less, nothing no more. Sol Campbell, I think I would stick there. I think I would probably go more towards there than anywhere, just purely on the basis of what cards we've actually got. The big thing with Sol Campbell is you could have evolved him into the Galazzo show to make him into a 92. That would possibly put him up into that S for me. He's got himself Bruiser and Aerial, which two decent playstyle pluses, nothing too crazy, but definitely a very, very good card nonetheless. Vidic, for me, I would go something like that. Now, there is definite arguments between the two of them because you've obviously got the 94, which is a fantastic one. Aerial Bruiser, we know that's good. But then we do have the 91 that is a pence of the price. But you've got Aerial and Slide Tackle, and you can put him into the 92. So if you was to evolve him, I think he possibly is slightly better. There's arguments for and against it, but I would much rather have Slide Tackle than Bruiser at times. And I think bringing them stats up, free pace, where is he? You get the free pace, free shooting, free physical. So obviously the pace and physical are the two we're looking at. I could say that might be worth even more. Desai is quite an easy one in my opinion. That goes straight into the S. I think he's a standard good card, but I kind of wanted an upgrade and this to be a second upgrade for him to really kind of get into that rating side of him. A 92 is nice, but at this point we need more from him. Carfu, very easy, S+. I don't think you can have any qualms about that one. He is fantastic. Loudrop in the bin. Zanetti probably I'd probably go Zanetti in the bin still, to be honest. That version especially. This Carfu would have to be more into the S. I don't think he's an S+ anymore. Desai, I'd go A. I think he gives you something, but not a lot nowadays. Same with Ashley Cole. He's probably at the same level. I like the Galazzo one of him, but in terms of kind of going down one, it's just not it. And then Yashin, I'd still put him as an S, but the fact that he's not a lengthy centre-back at all, that's going to have some sway of an opinion in my opinion anyway. I think he's a very, very good centre-back, but when he came out, now he's slowly losing his kind of relevancy in that centre-back role. It's just not the centre-back for me. That is going to be my list. Let me know down below what you think, and if you have any of these cards in your team, leave a comment down below and check the videos on screen. Peace!